Well, we'll keep an eye on that one for now. He is certainly fighting to hang on. Now, I mentioned at the start of the show, Trump posted on his site, Truth Social, this week, warning there'll be hell to pay if remaining Israeli hostages and some American ones aren't released before his first day back in the White House next month. Tough words. Do you think they'll have any effect?
I do, because I think people believe them. I think Trump has cultivated this sort of reputation for being unpredictable. He's used it to his advantage in foreign affairs. And I think when he comes out and says, look, there'll be hell to pay, people actually pay attention. It doesn't surprise me, for example, that Iran has sent sort of olive branches out through the ether in the last couple of days saying they're willing to discuss what's going on in the Middle East. Separately in Ukraine, it doesn't surprise me that Zelensky is now talking about possibly giving up some land in eastern Ukraine in order to end the hostilities there. People take Trump seriously when he says he's going to do things. And I do believe that he wants to resolve the hostage situation in Gaza. Look, you can't solve the entire situation in Gaza between now and the inauguration, but there's a very distinct possibility that the hostages could come back. And don't lose track of this, Caroline. Trump is just, he knows from his younger days. We all remember, I was a child in 1979 when the American hostages under Jimmy Carter, they were taken under Jimmy Carter by the Iranian radicals in Tehran. They came home on inauguration day in 1981, and Trump has that in the back of his head, and he'd love to see the same thing with the hostages in Gaza.
Well, I'm sure many of us would as well. Let's hope for their sake that that's what happens here. And wouldn't that be a great win for Trump on his first day in office? Well, look, Trump posted an amusing AI image of himself with the Canadian flag presiding over a Rocky Mountain range in Canada. This was just days after Trudeau met with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, where Fox News senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy detailed this funny exchange.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor.
There's been a lot of speculation over what that image Trump posted really means. What's your take?
This is a negotiation. Look, I heard the same story. It made me smile. I've heard those exact sort of words come out of his mouth so many times. He's sort of jesting. He's sort of not. Believe me, he doesn't want Canada as the 51st state. But he's making a point, which is, look, if you really are telling me, as Justin Trudeau, if you're really telling me that your nation's existence depends upon you taking advantage of us to the tunes of $100 billion a year in a trade imbalance, then you shouldn't be a country. Now, that's a harsh message to deliver, and it's delivered in sort of a joking fashion, but that's Donald Trump being Donald Trump. And I'm certain that it got Justin Trudeau's attention. Trump is deadly serious about fixing the trade imbalances between U.S. and Canada, U.S. and Mexico, fixing the immigration difficulty that we have along our northern border, which doesn't get nearly as much attention as the southern border. But yeah, that's just Trump using a little bit of humor with a little nod and a wink to sort of get people's attention. And I'm certain that it got the prime minister's attention up in Ottawa.